Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about my experience with migraines. And I wanted to talk about this on my channel for a few reasons. One of them being I am going to start trying different techniques and things to see if that improves my migraines, and I wanted to document that on this channel because I know some of you guys might have migraines as well, and it might be, I don't know, interesting to see how different things may or may not help my migraines, and it could potentially help you if you have migraines. And secondly, I feel like this is a place, my channel, I want it to be a place where we're constantly kind of motivating each other to do better with our health and physical and mental health, and so I thought I would post this to kind of kickstart me into actually making sure that I am fully taking my health by the reins and taking good care of myself. And hopefully you will do the same, or you are doing the same, and get better at it and improve, because I kind of just want this to be a place where we all can grow. So first things first, just a little bit of history about me. Growing up, I knew people with migraines. I never had them until I was about 17, 18, which is actually around the time when I first got my glasses. I used to have perfect vision, but then when I was like 17, 18, I just graduated high school, was starting community college, and suddenly I needed glasses. And so I got glasses, and this is also around the time when I started getting car sick as well. I used to never get car sick really, but when I got my glasses, I started getting car sick around the same time. So yeah, so I remember one day I was sitting in a theater class and I was looking at someone talking, and suddenly it felt like I could not see part of their face and their body, which was very, very scary and very strange. I didn't know what was really going on. I kind of thought maybe it was just because the person was backlit, the light was coming in from the door behind them, and I was like, okay, I'm sure it's nothing. And then that was my last class of the day, fortunately, so I just decided to go home, and I lived very, very close to my school, so that was really nice. And I drove home, and my mom was home, and I was like, Mom, I am experiencing this weird thing, and also I feel a headache, a really, really, really bad headache coming on. And so it just it all really just got worse from there. The headache was so bad, it was really throbbing, a lot of pain, and my mom is much more of a person to not immediately jump to taking Advil or Tylenol, but she could see how much pain I was in, and I was crying because of how bad the pain was. The lights, I was really sensitive to lights and sounds, and I was also starting to get nauseous. And so I ate some food really quickly, and she was like, here, just take this. It was an Advil, so I just took the Advil hoping that it would go away. And I tried to I had blackout curtains at the time because I lived in Los Angeles and it's super hot sometimes, so I had blackout curtains. I used those to block out the light, put a pillow over my head, and tried to go to sleep. I ended up throwing up the Advil. I can still remember the blue capsule. It was not fun. It was really, really bad. And eventually I just was lucky enough to fall asleep, and when I woke up, everything was back to normal. So that was my first experience with it, and it was horrible. And I eventually went to the doctor to get a physical or whatever, to get checked out and explain what was going on, and they were like, oh, you're having migraines. And so from then I had migraines, and they would happen every so often, and I wasn't prescribed anything at this time, but I started, I would just go home, or I would just kind of go through the whole process, and it was really horrible. I then found Excedrin migraine. I would take that, and that helped a lot. And also the way my migraines work, I have migraine with an aura beforehand. If you're not familiar with what that means, basically I have a visual aura where it's a disturbance in my visuals. And so I'll be sitting here talking to somebody, or looking at my computer screen, or looking at my phone, and I will suddenly something will just be kind of off with my eyes. My eyes will kind of feel uncomfortable. I'll look at the person and I'll start to notice that I can't see half half of their face. It's like a weird feeling. I can't really fully explain it, but sometimes like I just will be looking and like half of their face will, I can't see it. If I'm looking even straight at them, I'll have to like turn my gaze to see their entire face. Sometimes it'll start as like a little like zigzaggy line on their face, or like on whatever I'm looking at, basically wherever my eyes are looking. But for me, I always like look at my hands or look at myself in the mirror or someone's face to make sure that I'm really seeing what I'm seeing, because it sounds very strange if you've never experienced it before. And so I get the aura about 20 to 30 minutes before the full headache and nausea kicks in. So it's both, to me, in my opinion, a good thing and a bad thing that I get an aura, because the aura is very scary, especially because sometimes they're worse than others. Like recently I had a migraine and the aura happened, and the aura was so bad, like I literally felt like I was losing part of my vision. It's very scary. And yeah, but I guess the benefit, if there is one, is that I know that the migraine is coming, but also having an aura also is bad, because it causes, like, people who have migraines with auras have the potential to have more health problems in the future related to that. For example, I think we have a higher risk of getting a stroke and stuff like that. So it's very scary. But as soon as I get the aura, I basically just would take an Excedrin migraine, and for the most part that has helped a lot. But there are times where I've woken up with a migraine, and that's terrible because it's too late to take the pill, because if you don't time it correctly, it won't work, and if it doesn't work, you're pretty much gonna be out for the rest of the day. And it sucks because there are people who have migraines every single day, and I literally cannot imagine, I can't imagine how they, like, it's very hard to function when you have that going on every single day, let alone like a few times a week or a few times a month, because it just knocks out whatever plans you had, whatever thing you were doing. You have to address them. Like, you cannot go on with your day without addressing it. You have to address it. And I remember times where it would hit me in class, and during lab I had to walk out of my chemistry lab one day, and we had a substitute that day, and they were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "I am so sorry, I literally have to go throw up," because I had to like run out of the classroom. And other times, yeah, just not good, not ideal. I've had to miss days at like my part-time job before. It's just not fun. It's horrible. As if you have like fun plans, it's even like more sad, because it's not a good thing. So I recently feel like I've gotten them more often, so I'm trying to keep track of when I get them. And so I went to the doctor's the other day to get my blood tested to see if my vitamin levels were how they were doing, or if anything was wrong with like my levels for a blood test. And so I got everything checked out, and for the most part everything's good. The only thing that's like kind of low-ish is my ferritin levels, and basically what that means is that my iron levels are low, because I think your ferritin levels and your iron levels are basically the same. So if your ferritin is low, that means you have low iron, and iron is really important because it transports oxygen around your body, and if you don't have enough iron, then that's not good, and it can cause a lot of health issues if you don't address it. Some of those being heart problems, or you can have like less, I think you can become more pale in your face, you can have hair or brittle nails or brittle hair. What was the other ones? Heart was a big one. Oh, you can also have anxiety, you can have you can have headaches. That was my point here, is that's why I'm bringing this up, is because the main point of why I went to the doctor was because of my migraines again, just to check them out and see what I could do to improve them. And so now that I know I have a little bit of low iron levels, I am going to start taking steps to improve my iron levels naturally, because I am not at the point where I feel like I need to take the iron pill yet. I am trying to get it into my diet, and so I wanted to document that to see how that improves my health and improves all my things. So also you should know that I'm a pescatarian if I have never mentioned it. I feel like I have, which means I only eat, I don't eat meat or chicken or anything like that. I do eat seafood. That's what a pescatarian is, and so that is, to me, that's probably why my iron levels are slightly low. I don't have anemia though, so that's good, but I do have lowish levels that I need to take care of myself better with my iron intake. So there are two types of iron. One is heme and one is non-heme, and the heme is only found in animal products and non-heme is found in non-animal products. And so I also learned that it matters of how, it doesn't necessarily matter how much iron you're taking in, it matters how your body is absorbing the iron. So you have to be cautious of what you're eating. The foods that have iron, you have to be cautious of what you're eating them with. For example, spinach has a lot of iron in it, but if you eat spinach with vitamin C, that helps improve your body's absorption of the iron, which is very interesting. So you can eat something like strawberries or oranges or something like that to help your body absorb the iron from the spinach. I also know that caffeine, calcium and stuff like that, I think it makes it harder for your body to absorb the iron, so I have to be conscious of that as well. So I'm going to try to improve my dietary intake of iron and see how that improves. I wanted to take you guys along with me and see how this helps me. And also I'm going to just check my phone to make sure I didn't, let's see what else. Oh, I keep forgetting to talk about this, but how often do I get them and what are my triggers with migraines? So I get my migraines probably a couple times a month, and I get them a lot of times. I've noticed that, though, when I say a couple times a month, that can mean up to like 4 times, because I tend to count them as the same migraine if I get them within the same like couple days. Like I've had days where it's like back to back, I'll have a migraine and then the next day I'll have a migraine, and it's so horrible because you think it's all over and then I'll have like another one. So I kind of count that as one because it's like one long, it feels like it's one long migraine. I get them a few times a month, and my triggers tend to actually, for me, be visual. My eyes, and not to sound dramatic, but my eyes are really, really sensitive. They're just often I feel like they're uncomfortable. Lighting is really important to me and my eyes. I can tell if my eyes are uncomfortable in a certain lighting situation. For example, if I'm sitting there talking to somebody and behind them is like blinds that are open, that's really, really uncomfortable on my eyes, and that triggers me to have headaches and migraines. Other triggers are probably, I would guess, stress, maybe sleep schedule, stuff like that. I know I read online too, like diet can impact it, your hormone levels can impact migraines for certain people, so I'm trying to keep tabs of everything and see how it goes and when I get them and what I ate that day, things like that, to see if there's any food triggers for me. But yeah, I'm going to start with the iron, see how that improves my headaches, because I also just get a lot of headaches in general, so yeah. I am hoping that this will improve. My doctor recommended that I see an eye specialist to see if there's an underlying cause for why my eyes are maybe potentially causing my migraines. So I will keep you posted with that as well. And basically that is just a general outline of my migraines and the steps that I'm starting to take to see if I can improve them. I was prescribed a new migraine medication, so I'll also let you know how that works or doesn't work on my migraines. I have the pill where it's you take it when you feel the migraine coming on. As soon as you feel it coming on, you take the pill. And I know other people who have migraines like daily or weekly, there's a pill that exists that is supposed to prevent migraines, so you take a pill every single day. So we're not quite there yet. I hope that will never be the case, and I am going to see how it goes with improving my diet, because honestly my diet overall it's okay. I eat fish and seafood, which is good and healthy in moderation. Like my mom always says, everything in moderation. But I do also have a really, really wicked sweet tooth. So I'm gonna try to maybe tone down my levels of sugar as well. So we'll see, just for like overall health reasons. Like I should not be eating the amount of candy that I'm eating. And I know that's kind of bad, but it's the truth and I'm trying to be honest here. So I am being honest here. I do eat a lot of candy and sweets, and I am going to try to switch over to more natural sugars like fruit and things like that because it's healthier. I'm trying to be healthier. So yes, basically that is everything. I think I covered it all. My notes, basically migraines, when I first got them, what I currently take, how often, my triggers, okay, I talked about that, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. I think this is an important topic because I feel like migraines are a little bit of an invisible condition, or yeah, it basically is, because you can't see or feel, like there's no way you can tell someone's having a migraine unless they're telling you, which is, I don't know, I feel like if you've never had a migraine, it's hard to explain how bad and how severe they can get, which makes it kind of invisible in a way. But a lot of people have migraines, and if you do, and if you have any tips or techniques of how you deal with your migraines, leave them below in the comments for other people, so we can start a little community of how to take care of our migraines better, and how to treat them better. So yeah, that is basically all I have for this video. In the next series of this, I'm going to talk about how my diet has changed and how that hopefully has impacted, or we'll see how it goes. And I'm also going to talk about maybe if I have taken the new medication, if I have a migraine and I need to take the pill, to see how that affects my migraines. Yeah, so let me know in the comments what you think, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!